Welcome back to On Game at a Time, your daily dose of the top gaming news in under 10 minutes. Get ready. We got some exciting stuff to cover today.
Definitely. From indie darlings hitting major milestones to tech giants making big moves, there's a lot for gamers to be excited about.
Okay, first up, let's talk about Balatro. This indie game has officially reached a whopping 5 million units sold. That's a massive achievement, especially for a game that wasn't exactly on everyone's radar.
What's interesting here is how Balatro managed to achieve this success. Looking at the game, its core mechanics are built on the classic Metroidvania formula, but it adds a really unique social element that's unlike anything I've seen before. Players can collaborate on puzzles, and even share resources in a persistent online world. It's almost like a blend of Metroid and Animal Crossing.
You know what? That's a really good point. It seems like Balatro managed to tap into this desire for a more connected gaming experience. And what's really cool is that the developers are using their newfound platform to champion other indie games. That kind of community spirit is pretty awesome.
Absolutely. And it speaks to the power of word of mouth and community support in the indie scene. Balatro is a prime example of how a unique concept, well executed, can resonate with players and find massive success, even without a huge marketing budget. It's a real inspiration for other aspiring indie devs.
For sure.
Yeah.
All right. Shifting gears now to something that's going to get those nostalgia gears turning for a lot of you. Remember those epic ragdoll physics moments in games like Half-Life 2 and The Elder Scrolls? Well, Havok, the company behind that legendary physics engine, just dropped their first YouTube trailer in over a decade.
And it is impressive. The trailer focuses heavily on dynamic destruction, showcasing just how realistic and immersive game worlds can become. With their latest tech, we're talking collapsing bridges that crumble realistically, rocks shattering into tiny pieces, and fire effects that look almost lifelike.
Yeah, I mean, it's clear that Havok is flexing their technological muscles here. But what does this mean for gamers like us? Is this a sign that we're about to enter a new era of destructible game worlds?
It very well could be. Keep in mind that Havok doesn't develop games themselves. They provide the tools for other studios to create those experiences. So, this trailer is essentially a big pitch to developers, saying, look what's possible with our technology. It's like dangling a carrot and saying, imagine what you could do with this in your game.
Right, so it's almost like Havok is giving developers a glimpse into the future of gaming. And it's up to them to take the ball and run with it. And it's not like they're strangers to working on big titles. They've been involved in some major releases lately, like Helldivers 2, Sonic X Shadow Generations, and even The Legend of Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom.
That's right. And those games show that Havok's technology is being used across a wide range of genres, from action-packed shooters to sprawling open-world adventures. So yeah, this trailer definitely hints at a future where game worlds become even more interactive and dynamic, and that's something I think a lot of gamers are going to be excited about.
I know I am. Okay, on that note, let's move on to some news that's a little less cheerful. There's a chance that the rumored Horizon MMO might be facing some serious trouble.
Yeah, this one's a bit of a downer. For those who might not remember, Sony announced a partnership with NCSoft, the Korean publisher, over a year ago to develop a massive multiplayer online game, an MMO, set in the Horizon universe. It was supposed to be a huge deal, targeting PS5, PC, and even mobile platforms.
I remember that. It seemed like a pretty ambitious project, especially with Sony pushing to expand its gaming presence beyond consoles.
Exactly. But there's been a lot of silence since that initial announcement, and recent events have made the future of this MMO uncertain. NCSoft has been facing financial difficulties, with talks of 2025 being a make-or-break year for the company.
Wow, make or break. That sounds pretty serious.
Yeah.
So what does this mean for the Horizon MMO?
Well, NCSoft recently made the decision to cancel an unannounced project. While there's no official confirmation, many speculate that this canceled project might have been the Horizon MMO. It makes sense considering the circumstances.
Hold on. So does this mean the Horizon MMO is definitely canceled?
Not necessarily. We haven't heard anything definitive from either Sony or NCSoft. It's all speculation at this point. Plus, it's important to remember that this is a separate project from the confirmed online multiplayer Horizon game that Guerrilla Games, the original developers of the series, is working on. That project seems to be moving forward as planned.
Okay. So two different Horizon multiplayer projects. One that's confirmed and in development, and another, this MMO, that's shrouded in uncertainty. Got it. But this whole situation does make you wonder about Sony's overall strategy.
It definitely raises some questions. This isn't the first time Sony has faced challenges expanding into new gaming territories. Remember the cancellation of that God of War live service game that was reportedly in development at Blue Point?
Oh, yeah. that was a big one. It seems like Sony has been hitting some roadblocks lately when it comes to branching out. What do you think this means for their future plans?
Well, it's hard to say for sure. It could be that they're reevaluating their approach, maybe shifting their focus to areas where they've had more success. Or perhaps they're doubling down on their commitment to explore new genres and platforms, even if it means taking some risks.
Makes sense. It's a constantly evolving landscape. And I guess we'll just have to wait and see what Sony's next move is.
Exactly. One thing's for sure, it's never a dull moment in the gaming industry.
Absolutely not. And that brings us to the end of another episode of On Game at a Time. Thanks for joining us for your daily dose of gaming news.
And before we go, we want to hear from you. After seeing those mind-blowing destructible environments in Havok's new trailer, which game would you most like to see get the ultra-destructible treatment? Let us know in the comments.
Until next time, keep gaming. It's definitely a conversation starter. Speaking of conversation starters, something you mentioned earlier really got me thinking. You were talking about how Balatro blends different game genres together. And that got me thinking about how that's become a bit of a trend lately.
It's true. We're seeing more and more games that defy traditional genre boundaries. It's almost like developers are taking a best of both worlds approach, combining elements from different genres to create something completely new and exciting.
Right. It's like they're saying, why limit ourselves? And I think it's working. Look at a game like Tears of the Kingdom. It's got elements of action-adventure, RPG, even a little bit of puzzle solving thrown in there.
Exactly. And that kind of genre bending can lead to some really innovative gameplay experiences. It keeps things fresh and unpredictable, which is always a good thing for gamers.
Absolutely. It's like we're entering a new era of gaming where anything is possible.
I agree, and that's what makes it such an exciting time to be a gamer.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Well, that's about all the time we have for today. Thanks for joining us on In Game at a Time, your daily dose of the top gaming news.
Don't forget to let us know what game you'd most like to see with those crazy destructible environments.
Until next time, keep gaming.